Hello guys, it's Chum here to another Bakugan BakuTech review. This time on Gif Jinryu. So this is actually a promo version of Gif Jinryu, which I believe is considered the main version, but yeah, really cool. I like these cross pieces a lot, just how they look. Yeah, just a really cool ball form, I think. So anyway, opening this one up, we have, oh, that's not good. There we go. So it looks like this. It's very large. Has very annoying manual parts. These are very hard to get out. You have to kind of like pull them kind of out, and then they kind of yeah, you could kind of just tell that these are not the most fun to pull out, but unfortunately, yeah, if you want to get the full details and stuff, you gotta mess with this thing to get these out. And then anyway, also the feet, they just kind of slide up and out, which is much easier to deal with. So there we go. We finally have all those manual parts out, and here he is. Here's what he looks like. Looks interesting. Quick, just spin around. Let's see. He looks. Let's move him back for that. Yeah. It looks interesting for sure. I think it just depends on like how you look at him. Hard to see under there, but 600 Gs, at least this one. I believe the other one might be a bit more, but it's not like a ton more. But still worth noting. Anyway. See, this guy, very hard to like deal with the camera's focus though, because it's just such a long Bakugan. Anyway, I guess I'll just leave him like this while I talk about him. It's good enough, right? Yeah. So Gif Jinryu, a little bit harder to get. The main one isn't too bad to get. Well, the booster one, I think it has a gold, like more gold accents, and the cross pieces, while also being plastic, are gold. The blue might be slightly darker as well, but yeah. That one you can probably find without too much trouble. This promo one, the promo ones aren't too expensive from what I remember. I bought this one last year for like $60, which is not terrible for this. But they just don't pop up too often, so if you find one for a decent price, I recommend maybe picking it up. But anyway, mainly just for collection though, but we'll get to that. So first up, what do I think about this thing overall? What do I think about this Bakugan personally? I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Aside from Aqua's, just, well, kind of a more basic Aqua's color scheme, just not being my favorite color scheme. I don't know, this thing, I like kind of the idea of it. I like how it looks. I like how this kind of pattern is, just like how the ball opens up, is really cool. My problem is I don't like all of the bulk under here as much. I don't like that it feels like so much higher up than it should. I wish maybe there's something here kind of slid back or something. I don't know, but something to kind of break up this whole, like a large section would have been appreciated, I would say. So, bit of a nitpick, honestly, for design, but yeah, it still might, you know, you might see what I see, like what I'm trying to get at here. You definitely see it on camera that there's some extra bulk. Anyway, main part of the video, how good is this thing? This Bakugan is very odd to rank. So first up, as far as attack goes, nothing here pops out enough to deal any real damage when it opens. And as far as its actual base attack goes, I mean, it's not that impressive. I mean, you have these two cross pieces you could soften out for metal, and it's like, I mean, you can attack with it, but like, it's not great. It's definitely better Bakugan, especially Aqua's Bakugan that can attack. If you want an Aqua's attacker, look no further than Go Garyu, one of the best Bakugan in the entire game. Even something like Sea Slug, because it's like 3 cross pieces, like as an attacker, neither one of these is great, but like at least that, I mean, again, you get more metal out of it. And even just, you know, maybe like Saint Aquas or something, but yeah. Those just get more metal, and I think also both of those are better defensively, and for defense, Barry Beyond. So there you go, that's like 3 Bakugan that I would say are better both than at attack and defense than it, so do with that what you will, but anyway. aside from that, I don't think there's really anything else about this Bakugan that makes it, like, interesting. It's mainly just, I guess, defense, but, as far as defense goes, I mean, well, first of occupancy, it's a big Bakugan, for sure. Like, just putting at center card, I mean, yeah, it's decently big, but the problem is that it's too high off the ground, like I said. Imagine if maybe something back here kind of moved back a bit, and then this thing would be even longer, but also closer to the ground, because, yeah, these arms and legs stick out a decent amount, or the head, it looks big from a top-down view, but, like, this head's not blocking anything. These arms are high up, and you can just kind of hit it around. The legs, like, tail, same kind of deal. Like, yeah, these aren't... I guess the back, maybe you can argue, like, it's not going to move as much, but, like, yeah, occupancy, it's just too high off the ground, in my opinion, to really do a whole lot. And then also for defense, this magnet, I mean, I think it stays on the card decently well. Like, these arms and stuff and legs will help it from getting crit KO'd, like, easily, but it's, like, still not, like, that great at defense, I don't think. Like, yeah, I would say just as a pure defensive Bakugan, it's, like, actually kind of okay. But I mentioned this in my previous video with Gigan Rada and why I don't think it's an occupancy, or not occupancy, obviously not occupancy. Basically, why I don't think Gigan Rada really pairs well into defense, even though it's kind of an opinion some people have, but, this is kind of similar. Like, I think defensively, again, it's a big enough Bakugan, and it stays on the card well enough, but the problem is that even though it kind of appears like it's a good occupancy Bakugan, it kind of also isn't. It stays on the card, but doesn't really do anything else to defend the card. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at when I was just struggling to explain, but yeah. You just don't get a whole lot out of this thing. No real, like, G-Power Battle usage here, no extra anything. It's just kind of big, decently defensive, and the attack it does, like, I guess, like, the bare minimum, where it can have at least a couple metal pieces, but yeah. That's really all there is to Gif Jinryu. It's just kind of a cool Bakugan that exists. I think for collection, again, it's a pretty cool Bakugan to have, especially this promo version. I really think that, you know, the promo version was a nice pickup to finally get. But, yeah, my focus feels off. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, I think it was just a nice pickup to get, but, even then, like, appearance, I think is just kind of decent. And again, for actual usage, it's okay. 5 out of 10, I would say. 5 out of 10. It can do things, it just doesn't do anything particularly well, is what I'm trying to get at, so... Yeah, I think those are pretty much just my thoughts on Gif Jinryu. It's not really too interesting of a Bakugan. I guess in appearance, just based on how much opens up, it kind of is interesting, but, like, in terms of, yeah, like, its usage, it's not interesting, but, I think it's just kind of the I don't want to say rarity, because it's not, like, that rare, but, like, I guess it's a bit more uncommon, and, oh yeah, one other thing I want to note about this thing before I leave is the, kind of having to close this thing. Closing this thing, I will say, for the first time, or first couple of times, is really annoying. Once you get to the hang of it, it's actually not too bad. But yeah, I remember trying to close this guy. I actually could not close this guy for, like, a while. I had a different color version of this thing, and, yeah, that took me a while to close anyway. All said though, yeah, this one's just kind of a Bakugan that exists, but is kind of cool, kind of not. It's just a little all over the place, but yeah, that's all for my Gif Jinryu review. So anyways, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.